Okay, hello everyone. So today this is going to be another room design video, but it's going to be very work in progress, in the works, draft, anything that just indicates how not final this is going to end up being. But basically inspiration struck and I just was like, that'd be really fun to do. So it was just kind of like having fun playing, which I haven't, when that happens, I think it's really exciting. So just kind of worked on this, and my inspiration was from, I think it was kind of like a science fair room that was featured in Webkinz news. And I was thinking about it, and I'd also played Shrink Ray Island, I think, recently in Pop Tropica, and I was like, you know what? I think a really fun, excuse me, room would be like a shrink ray room and kind of like a science fair, but the focus is the shrink ray, and kind of utilize some of the items in Webkinz that are comically large or comically small, because there's really a lot of them. And yeah, and so I don't know exactly, like, I'm still figuring out exactly what I want to do and if I have the right items for it, if I need to trade for them. But I think an item that I'll definitely want to use is that deluxe prize right there in the middle. And it's actually, like, I just think like a satellite, but I'm using it as like a high-tech shrink ray gun. And when I first went through my doc, I was kind of thinking that I'd have it be like a science fair and have a bunch of other like sciencey little things in there. But I go through a couple iterations and I don't think I'm going to do that. I think instead it's more fun of it being like a really scientific lab. But yeah, I kind of do the same process in all of my design videos. So I go through my doc and I pick out anything that could possibly apply and just put them in the room. And then I go through, remove it all, go through the W shop, buy those, and just kind of try to put together like something that would work. So again, at this point, I still was thinking of it being like a fun, like science room. And there are some items that stick around, but in all honesty, not many of these items do. It's a tricky thing because there are some items that are like large in a way that is just like odd. Like, I think that sandwich table is probably the best example of that, and I wasn't even thinking of it, but I'm sure I can find like a plated sandwich to compare it to as like a before and after. But I was also even thinking like that on its own is so comically large, like the sort of like point of the room is evident just from like that under the shrink ray gun. So that was something I was thinking about. There are some other items that I thought could work. So that flower vase is kind of comically large and could definitely do like a before and after with other flower vases. There's definitely not going to be one that's like exactly like it, but I was thinking about that. And then I have like the model airplanes from, I think they're from Vacation Island, are small, and obviously they're model airplanes, so it's like, I don't know. I think like suspense of belief. Obviously, that's all of this in Webkinz, but I was thinking about that as well. So those are kind of the items that stuck around. And here you see I'm kind of removing everything, and I started to have a vision. This is a room where I'm still figuring it out. I think this is going to take like a whole remodel to really like get exactly what I want, and I think I'll do that after I like have this in mind as I'm trading, because I just felt like I was missing a lot of things that could have worked here, and it just didn't turn out exactly the way I wanted. So I was feeling inspired at the beginning, but then I kind of lost the inspiration. I was like, I don't know what I want. I also started with very little Kinz cash, which is kind of hilarious. But I was trying to do like two like, what is it called? Like two like workspaces there of like the sandwich and then the bouquet, but I didn't have another of those Dexdangerous landing pads, which I actually could get very easily, but I was just trying to find like different floor tiles that would work. And I think I decided on these new what are these? They're like the sewing club stuff. And I thought that could work as like, you know, they're on like the test pads or something, the launch pads. So I think it kind of got somewhere for that. Those are another thing I'm going to have to make more of, but I liked how that looked. It just kind of made it like look even more like techie, that little flower rug, and it just is like underneath it. Then I started opening up gifts, lol. And you'll also see me sell stuff, which is pretty desperate. But I'll use this to just kind of talk about, you know, where I'm at with Webkinz. I am definitely at like a slump. I go in and out for sure. I think I'll get back in later in the summer because there's so many events happening, but I really didn't like the Berry Fest prizes, and I was bummed that it was only like the Goo Goo berries and the polar berries that were flying around, which I know makes sense, but I just was hoping for more like all kinds of berries because that's really fun. But yeah, it was not my favorite prize pool, and it had like, I think the coolest stuff were the seeds and stuff, which were the same as last year, and then the planter boxes are like the same design as the seeds, so they just weren't super interesting. I like the new theme. I think that's pretty cool. You just saw me buy some, and I thought that was kind of perfect for like a scientist working on this item of like hopping up. But yeah, I think the theme is designed really cool, but I've just noticed with some of the designs lately with Webkinz, and I've been the first to defend them, I just feel like they're using AI in some of the art styles, and in all honesty, I think like the biggest reason why they shouldn't, because I know all the benefits of it, but I just don't think it looks good. I don't think it fits with the rest of the design. And one of my favorite things about Webkinz is like the design features. I don't know why, it just clicks in my brain and I really like it. So yeah, I've just been feeling that about the designs, and I know that they're fan designed, but it just feels like something in the translation like gets messed up. So I like that theme a lot and think it's so cool. I think it was one of the ones I voted for. But yeah, something's just like not clicking with it for me. But I also wish some of the items could be rotated more, because I thought those bookcases would be awesome, like room dividers, but didn't quite happen the way I want. But yeah, anyways, back to the room after a brief little intermission, because we've definitely gotten a little bit further. I'm just selling some things. It's so funny to see the desperation. But another thing I'm doing is just putting it into the cellar and then removing it so it's easily accessible for when I want to design with it. Especially with a large dock, that's like what you gotta do, because otherwise they just fall into the dock and you don't want to keep scrolling for it over and over and over again. So that's always a tip. But yeah, I kind of decided on a couple different things. So just kind of having those like science-y stations, like focus on each of them. And then I thought about connecting it to that machine, but it wasn't going to rotate in the way I wanted. I think those glass trophy cases are really good for displaying some other objects that I think will kind of end up being like the little like quote unquote like shrunk versions. I thought those St. Patrick's Day items looked pretty good for like specimen containers, but then I looked at them a little closer and I was like, I don't know if they actually do. Like, I think they end up looking like St. Patrick's Day containers, which is funny. So I think that's another thing I'm gonna have to work on, is like, what's like a creepy crawly like specimen techie looking thing. Although I don't know, I guess like it doesn't need to be creepy crawly, but because it's kind of a high-tech laboratory, but I need something different there. And then I just wanted to kind of make it look like a really like high-tech setup. So those, I think that's from the like vlogging theme that came out, but I thought that could be a good way to kind of add some like, I don't know, like it's like like a mirror reflecting the light, things like that, like trying to bring in the science. You know, the science part is actually not like that. I don't have a good baseline of it, but yeah, I think there's a lot more I could buy also, which is kind of funny. I think when I kind of build up some Kinz cash, I'll be able to do a little bit more and we'll be maybe in a different sort of spot. But yeah, I was just feeling inspired, and I think it's fun to design when I'm feeling inspired, because that's definitely my favorite part. And I always want to like keep fostering that, because I enjoy it so much, and I don't want lose out. So hopefully this was kind of fun. You'll definitely see this again in a video when I get to redesigning it and the inspiration strikes again. But that's all for today, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye bye.